for a reason. If you drive far enough down Route 19 past the rusted gas station and the field of scarecrows that no one remembers planting, you'll find a narrow road covered in mist. It leads to a bridge that doesn't exist on GPS. Locals whisper that once you cross it, you don't come back the same, if you come back at all. For decades, Hollow Creek has been abandoned. The houses stand like open graves, empty, but not uninhabited. And sometimes, when the fog rolls thick at night, you can still hear the church bells ring, even though the church burned down 50 years ago. This is where Emma and her brother, Caleb, decided to stop. And that was their first mistake. Emma was a travel vlogger, curious, daring, and always chasing stories others were too afraid to tell. Hollow Creek was her next big project, the forgotten town of the South. She and Caleb arrived just before sunset, their camera blinking red as they recorded every crumbling house and twisted tree. "Creepy, but kind of beautiful," Emma whispered, brushing cobwebs from a cracked sign that read "Welcome to Hollow Creek Est. 1897. Caleb laughed nervously. "Yeah, beautiful. If your idea of beauty is a horror movie set." They parked near the old Bellworth Inn, the only structure still standing 2 stories tall. The doors creaked open on their own. Inside, dust floated through the sunlight like falling ash. The air was colder than it should have been. Emma set her camera on the counter. "Okay, let's do an intro here." But as she started talking, the microphone picked up something strange, a whisper, soft but distinct. "Don't stay?" Caleb froze. "Did you hear that?" Emma replayed the footage. The whisper was there, louder the second time, like it was closer to the mic than either of them had been. She brushed it off as interference. But the longer they stayed, the more the town seemed to wake up. At dusk, the fog thickened until they couldn't see 10 feet ahead. The church bell tolled once, deep and low. Then again. But the church was gone. Nothing left but ashes and a blackened cross that still stood in the middle of town. "Someone's here," Caleb said. They followed the sound through the fog until a faint light appeared, a lantern swinging in the distance. It moved slowly, then stopped. A tall figure stood beneath it. "Hello?" Emma called. "We're not here to." The lantern fell. The light went out, and something ran toward them. They bolted for the car, the fog closing behind them like a curtain. When they reached the inn again, the front door was locked. But they'd left it open. Caleb began pounding on the door, his breath coming fast. "Emma, someone's in there." Emma turned back toward the fog. Someone was standing behind the car now. A woman in a white dress, face hidden by long black hair, her head tilting at an unnatural angle. When Emma blinked, she was gone. Found another entrance through a broken window and locked themselves in a room upstairs. The air smelled like burned wood and old perfume. Emma checked the footage again. This time, behind the whispering voice, another sound had crept in, a woman humming. The same tune as the church bells. Caleb found an old book under the bed, a diary dated October 1962. The last entry read, "They said the preacher made a deal with something in the woods. He wanted the flood to stop, but the price was the souls of the town. We hear them now, every night in the fog. They whisper because they can't scream." Thunder rumbled outside, though the sky was clear. Then knocking. From the hallway. Slow. Deliberate. 3 knocks. Caleb whispered, "Don't answer it." But Emma, trembling, turned the knob anyway. No one was there, only fog, curling into the room like fingers. She stepped back, but something moved inside it. A shadow, human-shaped, stepped forward. "Who are you?" Emma managed to whisper. The voice that answered was not human. "You came to record our story. Now, you'll finish it." The shadow lunged. The lantern went out. Screaming filled the room, but the camera kept rolling, catching only the final seconds of chaos before it fell sideways. 2 weeks later, state police found the car parked near Hollow Creek Bridge. The engine was cold. Inside were Emma's keys, Caleb's jacket, and a camera still recording.